Good evening, one and all. We welcome you all to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2025, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 77 years of independence and United Nations Sustainable Development Goals 2015 to 2030, Viksit Bharat at 2047 as part of awareness and campaigns in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. Before we start our sessions, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः
The blessings of Almighty, we shall continue with today's commemorations. Today is also commemorated as Woolworths Day, celebrated in US on February 22nd in commemoration of Woolworth's great 5-cent store. Frank Woolworth started his business by selling everything at 5 cents, which at that time was the first to set the trend. Today, even though the pioneer Woolworth is defunct, the brand continues to grow internationally by the same name, Woolworth. So, in honor of pioneers of Woolworth, this day is celebrated in the great stores that's left with marks in the history. Today is also commemorated as World Thinking Day, which is celebrated on February 22nd, is the day of friendship, sisterhood, and empowerment, where Girl Scouts and Girl Guides across the world speak out on issues that affect girls and young women. This event raises funds for 10 million Girl Guides and Girl Scouts across the world. The theme for 2022 World Thinking Day was Our World, Our Equal Future, the environment and gender equality, and the theme changes. So the World Association of Girl Guides and Girl Scouts, the Girl Scouts of USA, and other WAGGS member organizations have been celebrating World Thinking Day since 1926. This is a day to celebrate being part of the diverse global sisterhood. The history of World Thinking Day is a fascinating story. In 1926, delegates from across the world met at Camp Edith Macy, now named with Edith Macy Conference Center in New York for 4th World Conference, and decided to create a day for guides and Girl Scouts. They selected the joint birthday of Lord Baden-Powell, the founder of the Scout and Guide movement, and his wife Olive as Thinking Day. Later, in 1932, a Belgian delegate suggested that girls could raise funds World Thinking Day fund for the organization and show their thanks. Accepting this suggestion, Lord Baden-Powell wrote a letter to all guides and Girl Scouts worldwide asking them to donate a penny, since a penny was enough for a loaf of bread in those days. In 1999, during the Dubai conference, the name of the Thinking Day was changed to World Thinking Day. This has grown into a huge global event that encourages members of the movement to think about bigger issues. Today is also commemorated as Supermarket Employee Day in US. After a great first year and sustained valiant efforts by grocery employees under the personnel, the Food Industry Association Supermarket Employee Day makes its much anticipated return on February 22nd. The industry-wide initiative, which took place in 2021 to commemorate the contributors of the grocery industry stuff, will continue for the second year running and will become an annual affair. The Food Industry Association, FMI, established the first National Supermarket Employee Day in 2021 to honor supermarket employees who deserve national recognition. The first commemoration attracted virtually all levels and types of HMI participation from across the globe. Even states have since made proclamation, local and national reports on events across the country were also featured in the media coverage. The FMI highlighted that the return of Supermarket Employee Day reflected the positive reaction it received when it first launched in 2021, with participation from wholesalers, retailers, state association partners, and suppliers. The FMI has designed an online cache of comprehensive resources and tools to ensure members can commemorate Supermarket Employee Day according to their budgets and brand. Messages, logos, assertions, celebration ideas, infographics, stickers, badges, banners, press releases, and strategies to nurture talent among teams are among the tools available. Today is commemorated as St. Lucia Independence Day in St. Lucia to commemorate the day when St. Lucia gained its complete independence from the United Kingdom in 1979. First inhabited by the Arawaks and Carpis, St. Lucia was colonized by French and British in 17th century, previously called Leonola by the Arawaks and later Hevanora by Caribs. St. Lucia was also known as Helen of the West Indies due to being frequently switched between French and British control. It was then officially ceded to the British by the French in 1840. Today is also commemorated as Single Tasking Day in US on February 22nd, and a special day that pays tribute to one of the longest lost habits in the busy world, single tasking. People are lauding multitasking and getting as many things as possible done in a day, resulting in half-finished jobs. Single tasking is much more productive. Single tasking or monotasking is the art of dedicating oneself to the one given task at a time and minimizing potential interruptions and distractions until said task is completed or a significant period of time has elapsed. This differs from multitasking, which is the ability to perform more than one task at a time, dividing one's focus among multiple tasks. To commemorate this amazing skill that most people have forgotten, people across the world celebrate Single Tasking Day. Unfortunately, the history behind the original celebration, Single Tasking Day is not. There was a long period of time where people boasted about their multitasking skills and abilities. But as the dangers of multitasking have slowly come to light in the past years, people are trying to move away from multitasking and adopting single tasking. Today is also commemorated as Recreational Sports and Fitness Day in US. Ohio State University and the University of Michigan are the forerunners of recreational sports in the United States. Recreational Sports and Fitness Day was created by NIRSA, National Intramural and Recreational Sports Association, to mark the association's founding and celebrate the positive benefits of recreational sports, fitness, and wellness. Recreational sports are physical activities played to have fun, encourage social interaction, and build physical and mental fitness. Recreational sports are a key part of intramural sports organized within universities or geographical areas. Since early in human history, our ancestors have been engaging in one form or other recreational sports or other without actually knowing what it was. So they do this to escape from their mundane work and build stronger community bonds. Recreational sports began in colleges in the mid 1800s. These sports were played between clubs from different schools during intercollegiate games. It wasn't until early 1900s that recreational sports became formal. Today is also commemorated as Play More Cards Day in US. If you look back on some of the most fun times with close friends, we are pretty sure it involved a card game at some point. We know we have a ton of laughs when playing. It is the best way to unwind. A little healthy competition always spices things up. Besides being incredibly fun, card games also improve our focus, creativity, and decision making. So it's always a good idea to indulge more often. Play more cards day is a perfect season to make it happen. Today is also commemorated as National Walk Your Dog Day in US. This day combines two of the most happy making things we have in the life, in this life, especially, dogs and exercise. Humans love walking with the four-legged friends, and pooches love their strolls with their people. So grab your walking shoes, a leash, and some treats for the road, and take your favorite food for a stroll to celebrate Nation's Walking Dog Day. Today is also commemorated as National Heart Valve Disease Awareness Day in US on February 22nd, which takes place amid American Heart Month, is held to raise awareness about the unique dangers and effects of the heart, improve diagnosis and treatment, and save more lives. Through education and outreach, we can lower the number of persons who forfeit their independence and capacity to engage their lives due to heart diseases actively and suffer arrhythmias, heart failure, and even death. Today is commemorated as National Cook a Sweet Potato Day, which is celebrated as the vegetable is loved and eaten by millions every day in the US alone. Many times people confuse sweet potatoes with yams. However, that is not the case. Cultivators of sweet potato bear tubers with flesh and skin of many colors. Sweet potatoes are widely consumed by billions across the globe, mainly in America. This sweet root vegetable is very versatile and is used in salads and soups, can be eaten for breakfast, lunch, snack, or dinner. The most important part of this vegetable is starchy tuberous roots. Nevertheless, the leaves and shoots are also edible. Eating cooked tubers can increase their nutritional value and digestion. However, many American colonists in the Southeast consume raw sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes are a distant relative of common potato as they both belong to the order of Solanaceae. It is believed that before Western exploration, sweet potatoes were grown in Polynesia. Later, it is said that they have spread to Central or South America, typically through the spread of vine cuttings rather than seeds. In fact, it is believed that Central America domesticated sweet potatoes around 5,000 years ago, according to the Peruvian sweet potato remnants found in South America. It has been observed that they date back to 8000 BC. In 1594, sweet potatoes were introduced in the Fujian province of China from Luzon. Convener Qin Huinseng further encouraged growing sweet potatoes. There is also commemorated as National California Day in US to commemorate the Golden State of United States of America. California is one of the western states in the US. It is the most populous state in the third largest state by area. California has rich history that witnessed Native American life, European exploration, Spanish colonization, the Mexican era, the gold rush, and the US statehood. California is one of the most popular destinations, famous for monuments like Golden Gate Bridge, places like Disneyland and Hollywood, and last not least for events like Coachella. Today is also commemorated as International Sword Swallowers Day. Which takes place on last Saturday in February. This year it is held on February 22nd. Sword swallowers, it is those guys who pass long, pointy, sharp instruments through their mouths into their stomachs, often don't get the same level of fame and respect as other entertainers. So this day was specially created to recognize and appreciate sword swallowers while educating people about their contribution to the world. This day has another higher purpose too. It attempts to eradicate all myths surrounding sword swallowing and bring global attention to how the sword swallowing community has helped both medically and scientifically. And this initiative also pays host to National Swallowing Disorders Month, formed to raise money for esophageal cancer research and fund medical treatment of injured sword swallows. Many moons ago, in around 2000 BC, fakirs and shamans also presented in India developed this art and demonstrate their power and bond with their gods. They came up with fire walking on hot coals, snake handling, and other ascetic religious practices. Originating in India, this practice slowly spread around the world. It was seen during the Teutonic fight for Rome in 410 AD. In China around 750 AD, festivals around the Roman Empire had held sword swallowing as part of their entertainment. But the 8th century, a type of Japanese street theater called Sangaku could also trace its origins back to sword swallowing. The art form soon made its way to Europe from Rome and Greece. Medieval jongleurs and other street performers would exhibit their skills in this area. While the Catholic Church banned such street performance during Middle Ages, common folk still enjoyed a good sword swallowing performance. Today is also commemorated as Founders Day. Scouts honors Lord Baden-Powell and his wife Olive, the first chief girl guide. Scouts Founders Day is known as Founders Day throughout the world. It's a time for scouts and guides to reaffirm their oaths together and contemplate how scouting centuries old values are still relevant in today's fast paced world. Today is also commemorated as European Day for Victims of Crime, which is observed on February 22nd. The day is used to create awareness about the pertinent issues of security. Approximately 15% of Europeans experience serious assault, trauma, and abuse yearly. The figures may relate to Europe, but we must remember these stories live within our communities too. The problem magnifies due to pervasive culture of silence and their frightening misconception that these things happen to others, not to us. Today, we join Europe in recognition and support of victims of crime every day. European Day for Victims of Crime gives us the push we need to ensure that the justice system doesn't inflict more trauma on people already suffering. Today is also commemorated as Day of Fraternity and Cohesion in Algeria, which takes place annually on February 22nd in the Republic of Algeria. It marks the anniversary of the protests that united the country against an unjust leader and whose partying attempted another selfish power grab. On February 22nd, 2019, the entire country rose in union to hold nationwide protests. Shops were shuttered and schools closed as the entire nation strived to stop President Abdeladez's Bouteflika from angling for a fifth term. Ultimately, the protesters were victorious and Bouteflika was removed from the power. Since 2020, the day has celebrated throughout the country to commemorate the victory of democracy and the public will. Today is also commemorated as Be Humble Day, that is celebrated on February 22nd. People across the world, irrespective of their religion, culture, and philosophy, come together and stress importance of being humble. Many great personalities say that humanity is the most difficult of all virtues. To attain either way, Be Humble Day focus on the importance of being humble. Speaking of boasting, on Be Humble Day, no boasting is allowed because bragging about one's achievements, success, and abilities can lead to pride, one of the 7 deadly sins. If it is in this self-obsessed world where people are increasingly becoming narcissistic, obsessed with their appearance and attention seeking, not choosing to brag is much more difficult than one might think. So being humble in this world itself is a great achievement. Being humble is more than not just boasting one's own life and achievement. It's all about listening to others, accepting our errors and weakness, and working on them to get better. This is exactly what Be Humble Day advocates. There is also commemorated as ETSA People Power Commemoration Week from February 22nd to 25th in Philippines. Is a special week that honors, appreciates, and celebrates the series of revolutions and demonstrations in the Philippines. ETSA People Power Revolution served as a national inspiration, restoring democratic institutions and ushering significant political, social, and economic reforms in the nation. Many Filipinos retain a particular place in their hearts for their occasion as a recall, a revolution that brought democracy back to country. Today, on 22nd February 1845, Serampore of Hooghly district and Balsore cities from Dutch purchased East India Company. And on the same day, Kawasaki Nanabai Dawar started the first cloth mill namely Bombay Spinning Mills. And on 22nd February 1858, Ganao president of Samosa Gali in Delhi arrested for revolutionary activities and was hanged. So with this, we shall end today's commemorations. Thank you everyone for joining us. We request you to fill the feedback form before leaving the platform. So see you all tomorrow at the same time. Take care. Good night.